Can you believe that the team is picked on Monday? That has snuck up. That's snuck up. I couldn't believe it this afternoon. I'm thinking it's going to be picked on Monday. And Sam Walker there saying that he does want to play. Now, There's been a lot of chat around Jake Clifford, whether DCE comes back, whether Reece Walsh moves from his fullback position into 7. And I've been wondering, why has there been not as much talk around Sam Walker? He's been playing really good football. His opportunity should be close. What do you guys think? What are you hearing, and what do you believe should happen here?
Oh, look, I think for me, boys, it's a no-brainer. Sam Walker's the 7. I just think his time's right. He's played 96 first-grade games, and I love the way he plays. Interesting, I spoke to Wayne Bennett today for a story on this, and Wayne, of course, blooded Allan Langer, as you know, Gordy, 1987. And he had a lot of critics at the time, Wayne. They said he was too small, that he couldn't tackle. And Wayne said, Alfie created mayhem, and Sam Walker will do the same. Yeah. And he said, Sam Walker is the closest thing I've seen to Allan Langer. Sam's the man. That's Wayne Bennett's words.
Bomber, is he the front runner right now, do you think?
I think yes. From the mail I'm getting, he is. I keep hearing all this talk about Jake Clifford, Tanner Boyd. To me, that's nonsense. I think it's a pretty obvious open and shut case for me. I think Sam Walker has to be picked. However, Daly Cherry Evans, he's done it as well. We can't discount that. Yep. But I think Sam Walker, if he plays well this week against the Cowboys, I think he's there.
Yeah, I'm with Bomber. I think I said it on Monday Night, Braith. He's been in the system. He's been sort of the next guy up for a long time. He's been part of the emerging Maroons. And I think if you bring a guy in the system and you blood him in the system and you prepare him to play Origin, and then his chance comes and you overlook him, I think that's detrimental to him. Yeah. I think that sends the wrong message. I think they've sent a message that Sam's next in line, and I don't think he's done anything wrong to suggest he shouldn't be.
Well, I'm assuming the only hesitation would be his defence.
Well, that's the obvious. Yeah. But what half in this game doesn't get targeted? Yeah. I know Sam gets exposed.
Everybody gets targeted.
I know Sam gets exposed occasionally, but Daly Cherry Evans has been exposed at times over his career. Jake Clifford's been exposed at times over his career. It doesn't matter what half you go with; they're going to get challenged.
I think we're in a pretty good place because we've got options, right? Yeah. And it's just the way Billy wants to play. If Cameron wants to side, if he needs help, in attack, there's no doubt Sam Walker's probably one of the greatest attacking number 7s that we have in the game. So it's which way they want to go. And normally, when I think of a halfback, it's the kicking game when it's Origin, because that's the thing that hurts you the most. Yeah. So at least we've got some options, guys.
You do have options, and you've got options in the fullback position. Now, I saw Cameron Smith, the great Cameron Smith, name his side only a couple of days ago. There was no Reece Walsh, not only at fullback, but in the squad entirely. So he's favoured Kalen Ponga. Where are we at with that, Bomber? What have you heard? Who's going to get the fullback spot?
Well, look, Cam would have Billy's ear, wouldn't he? I mean, they're tight. They're very tight. Cam Smith would have the intel. But look, I personally would pick Reece Walsh. If he plays well this week, I think he would still do enough. I know he wasn't in the series last year due to injury, but I like the feeling of Reece at the back. I just think, look, as Gordy said, he won him a comp pretty much last year. He was outstanding in the Ashes series against England. I would have Ponga on the bench, have Reece at fullback, and then Sam Walker and Munster in the halves. That's a perfect, formidable squad with Harry Green.
You've got to be favourites with that sort of team.
If you've got
Ponga and Reece Walsh, you've got to be $1.05.
The cynic in me suggests that maybe Billy said to Cam, go put your team up and put Kalen Ponga at fullback and leave Reece Walsh up. Maybe just stick a rocket under him and get the best out of him this weekend, so he goes into Origin form. I wouldn't be surprised by that, because we've seen some Queensland coaches do that over the years.
I think Queensland win with both. I think Ponga's a better 14. I think he can cover more positions. I've watched him come on, play 9, play in the middle. He could play probably 6 at a pinch. He could probably play 7 at a pinch. Right, and he could play centre.
7, Gordy.
Oh, you guys,
mate, you got Billy's ear.
You guys pick and stick anyway, don't you, Reedy? You always harp on about the pick and stick, so it should be the same team as last year. Yeah.
Sometimes, you've got to make allowances. Got to make allowances, bro.
Don't get nervous, Reedy.
You've got to get flexible on it.
What about the New South Wales Blues in the fullback position now? We were hearing Dylan Edwards was favourite and leading the race now for the majority of this season, the last couple of months. Tedesco was just not going to get the spot. There were some murmurs today that maybe Tedesco has got the spot. What have you guys heard? Have you had your ear to the ground? Can you tell us anything?
Well, I'm surprised by the talk, Braith. I mean, obviously Teddy's been in great form, right? There's no denying that, but so has Dylan Edwards, and I think as part of that Penrith connection, Dylan Edwards should be in the team. But there has been some mail around Teddy, and as I said, Teddy's always done the job for New South Wales. He's been in great form this year for the Roosters, but I would be surprised if Dylan Edwards is not the fullback.
Yeah. It's a big call. It's a big
It's a
decision
huge
to make. But even outside backs, again today we're hearing that Katoni Staggs is a big chance on that right centre, and McLean.
You're going to fire me up again, aren't you?
McLean could.
Because I said Steve Crichton should be there.
You said he was the best centre in the game.
He's the best centre in the game, yes.
Yeah.
He's the best centre in the game.
And then Brandy Alexander
Is he?
said, "What about
So not
Latrell
Herbie?
Mitchell?" And you went to order.
Oh, that's right, I did go to
Yeah, you went to
order.
order.
Sorry, he's the second
Latrell.
best defensive centre in the game. Apologies. Trell's the man.
So yeah, I mean, could they do that? Could they put Katoni in the centres and McLean on the wing is something that
Well,
we're
that
hearing.
surprised me as well, Braith, because Casey McLean's been exposed at times defensively this year. And I reckon Casey McLean started the year off brilliant, his opening month, but his last month's been, he's flatlined a bit, I reckon. So, and even Ivan said at one point when he was getting talked about for Origin, he must be thinking about Origin. So, again, that would surprise me, because I would have thought like guys like Josh Adokar and Campbell Graham, who've been there, done it before, would have their nose in front for that wing spot.
Surely New South Wales have too much talent to pick out a position. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like with the wingers that are playing and centres, you think that you'd pick your left or right because
I think
it is Origin one,
McLean
and it's
has
not
played
desperate.
winger for New Zealand and done a magnificent job. And he is not only a rising star, he's a New South Wales player that could play for the next 10 years. I don't, you know, there is a luxury of riches there, but in saying that, they've definitely got certainly great players to choose from. They could go with experience, they could go with rookies. Time will tell. We'll find out Monday.